My dear students, very good morning to all. I am Dr. Sanjeev Punia. Till now, in all the lectures, we discuss about the basics of computer architecture. And from today onwards, I will show you about the syllabus and how we are going to map our contents with our lectures. So let me see the syllabus first. So we will go through the syllabus. I I covered the syllabus in last one slide when we saw the overview of the subject. Then you can see from here, then in unit 1 we have to, there are two things. First one is register transfer and micro operations. Second one is basic computer organizations and design. Basic computer organizations and design. Till now, in all the videos, we revised the digital electronics. We saw that what is the computer architecture and what is computer applications or computer organizations, and what's the difference between computer organization and computer architecture, and what is the basic block diagram of a digital computer, as well as how the things are going to be processed between all the components. Today we will discuss about the register transfer and micro operations. In register transfer and micro operation, here are the different topics we will cover, that is register transfer language. So first we will see about the register transfer language, that what is the language by which the data is going to be transferred from one register to another register. Then we will see that what is the register transfer, what are the different ways, how we can do that. Then bus and memory transfer, how the data is going to be transferred between bus and memory. Then we will see some operations as arithmetic micro operations, logic micro operations, shift micro operations, and in the last, arithmetic logic unit. As I told you that this is really very important, arithmetic logic unit. So let's come on today lecture. Yes, this is a today lecture we are going to start. So in computer architecture, as I saw you that we will going to start about the first part of the unit, that is register transfers and micro operations. So in this unit we have to study about the register transfer language. As I saw you in the syllabus, that we have to study about the register transfer language first, then we will study about the register transfer, then the transfer between the bus and memory. Then there are three micro operations: arithmetic micro operations, logic micro operations, as well as shift micro operation. And in last, we will discuss about arithmetic logic shift unit. So here in today lecture, we will discuss about two things: about the register transfer language, that what are the language that is going to be used when we are transferring the data from one register to another register, and how the data is going to be transferred, or how the transfer takes place, and one more thing, that how we can represent the registers. So today, first we will discuss about the register transfer language. So this is the register transfer language. So when we are discussing about this, then we have to first see that what is micro operations. From here, if I am dividing this word, sorry, if I am dividing this in two parts, then there are two meanings. First one is register transfer, means transfer of informations between the registers, and second one is micro operations. We know the meaning of register, a element that contains some information. We know the meaning of transfer, means process the information in such a way that it will transmit from one place to another place. And when we are dividing this micro operation in two parts, then there are two things. First one is micro and second one is operation. So we know what is operations. Operations are some plan of actions those we have to perform to complete some work. Those are the operations as we perform daily in our daily life. For an example, suppose I have to make this presentation, then what are the different operations that I am going to do? And micro means, as there are micro and macro. So micro means small operations. And why we are discussing about the micro? Because the operations those are going to be performed, those will be inside digital system or computer. So this is the reason that we will call it micro operations. So register transfer language, as I told you, that first we will see that what are the micro operations. So registers are the smallest data. I told you in digital electronics, then the data we have to store, that will be in registers. We study that data is stored through registers, where register contains flip-flops. Register contains flip-flops, and flip-flop is the smallest unit. Flip-flop is the smallest unit that contains one bit of data, that is and 0 and 1, या 0 or 1. Means flip-flop is a storage device that is going to store one unit at a time, that is either 0 or 1. And register is the combination of flip-flops, means it is also going to store the data. Now it's depend that how much is the length or how much data is a register can be stored. It's depend on its construction, that how much flip-flops we used in this. So the operation that we are going to be performed on the data that is going to be stored in the registers. So for an example, this is shift operation. This is shift operation, means how we can shift the data from one register to another register. Suppose this is register R, this is register S, this is register, different register. So how we can shift the data? Or suppose there are 4 bits, or suppose there are 4 bits in a register R, then how we can shift the data from here to here, from here to here, from here to here. So this is shift. Load the data, when a register is empty, then how we can put a data in that? That is called load of data. Clear of data, when a register has some content, then how we can clear it, how we can remove that data. Increment means, suppose there is a value 235 in a register, then a operation can be to increase that value either by 1 or by 2. So the operations are the actions, those are going to be performed on data that is stored in registers. And these are the examples like load, clear, and there can be many arithmetic operations also. We will see these later on. So micro operations, this is called micro because these operations are going to be performed on registers, and registers are the smallest element to store some word. Clock cycle. When we have to transfer the data from one register to another register, or when we have to perform an operation, micro operation, then there should be some information that when we have to start to transfer the data or to transfer the content from one register to another register, or there should be a time when we have to perform different operations. So that time is represented by a clock cycle, or clock cycle is a time that represents that the operation should be performed during this clock. We studied that the operations can be performed on positive edge, negative edge, low level, high level. So it's depend that when we have to transfer the data by using the clock cycle. An elementary operation performed on instruction is stored in one or more registers. Suppose this is a register A. I told you that whatever will happen, operation will happen, that will happen through ALU, arithmetic logic unit. ALU, arithmetic logic unit. This is the reason that I saw it here by F. F is a function. So in a clock cycle, the data is, the operation is going to be performed, means to take the data from the register, perform some operation over here, and return the data back. So this operation, as I told you that f is a function. So this operation can be either add, subtract, or and, complement, shift, increment, load, and clear, as we discussed in last slide. So let's come forward on the next slide. So now we will discuss about the register sets and their functions. So micro operation sets. Micro operation sets means combinations of all the operations. The combinations of all the operations, or combinations of all the micro operations, those can be performed in computers. And control signal, we also discuss about the control signal, that control signals are used to initiate the operations or to manage the operations. Register transfer. transfer the data between registers. So we discuss about micro operations. What is micro operations? We discuss about the control signal. We discuss about the register transfer. Now, our focus in this lecture will be about the system registers. That what are the system registers? How the data is going to be stored in that, and how the data is transferred among them. So our focus will be on three things: that how we can represent the register, how they are going to store the information, and how the information is going to be transferred among them. So register transfer language. First, we saw that what is a register. I told you that register is a device that stores some information, that is, and combination of flip flops. It can be 8-bit register, means it can store 8 bits, 16 bits, 32 bits, whatever, but it will be in the multiplication of 8-bit, because you know it that 8-bit equals to 1 byte. So when register have to store some information, then information will be in the multiplication of bytes. So either it will be 1 byte, 2 byte, in like this. So as a human being can transfer the information in different languages, but it cannot be happen in case of computers, because as we discussed that computers understand only binary language, that is 0 to 0 and 1, means combinations of 0 and 1. And the one level higher than binary language is assembly language. Assembly language that can be easily understandable by the human being as well as by the computer. Like if I want to add two numbers, then add, multiply, add, mul. Mul is for multiply. So these are the different operations. In short, those we can return that can be easily understandable by the human being as well as by the computer. When I am saying that easily understandable by computer, it doesn't mean that computer can understand it directly. First of all, it has to be converted in any way in binary languages. In binary languages. So this is a symbolic language. When I have to perform a multiplication, then I can write NUL multiplication. When I have to add two numbers, I can write add. So this is a symbolic language. This is a convenient tool for describing the internal organization of a digital computer. This is a designing language and this is a processing language. Means we can design the different operations, different computers by using the knowledge of this, and we can perform the operations. So this is about the register transfer language. We discuss that what is a register. Register is a combinations of different flip-flops that store information. Language is a method, is a way by which anyone is going to be interact, as in our case in human being that can be English, Hindi, French, German, like this. But in case of computer it will be especially binary. But we will discuss here about the symbolic language, about the symbolic language. And second one, last is transfer. I told you that transfer means passing the data from one place to another place. So register transfer language is a language that is using that will that we will used to transfer the data from one register or from one place to another place. This is about the register transfer language. Now, register transfer operations. A sequence of micro operations. I told you about the micro operations. A smallest operation that can be performed on the registers. So a sequence of micro operations to perform an operation. This is the register transfer operation. So now we will study about the registers, that how the registers, how we can represent the register, what are the different ways, how the information is going to be transferred from one register to another register. So first we will see the register representation, that how we can represent a register. Generally representation of register is done by a capital letter, as this is a, this is IR, I will called R, I will called R1, R2, means generally it is done by the capital letters and sometimes followed by numbers, sometimes followed by number, as I told you here, that is R1, R2. This is A capital by, I am representing by capital letter A. This is by using, by followed by some numbers, that is R is followed by R. R is followed by 1 and 3, and this is by some special letters IR. IR. You will come to know what is the meaning of IR. Generally, name indicates whenever we are giving a name to any registers, then generally it represents the function of that register. As over here, IR means instruction register, means this register is going to be store some registers. PC means program counter. Program counter means it's going to store a counter that is used in program. And MAR, memory address register, means a register that is going to contain the address of a memory. So we can represent a register, number one, it should be by capital letter, number two can be followed by a number, or can be or we can indicate by the specific name. So this is the representation of a register. Registers are of different type. We will study these later on, but this is only the overview that how we can represent the registers. As I told you that when we have to see the content of a register, then content we can view it as a single entity, means whatever the content are in a register we can think that's a complete entity, or whatever the data it may have we can distribute that data, or we can divide that data. Suppose this is a register, it contains 16 bits, then we can take these 8 separately and these 8 separately. So a register can be single register, means it can contain the complete data as a single entity, or we can divide it also. So this was about the register representation. As I told you in the last slide, that it can be a single entity or it can be divided into different informations. So in the next slide, it can be a complete register. It can be a portion of registers, means suppose there is a register R1. Suppose there is a register R1 or R, and I am going to divide this in two parts, means I am using this content as a single unit and this content as a single unit, means portion of the registers or a bit of the register. For an example, a register contains 8 bits, then I can consider those 8 bits differently, means this is generally it starts from 0. Suppose it has 8 bits, then it will be from 0 to 7. Generally we say like this, not from 1 to 8. So when it has suppose 8 bits, so it will be from 0 to 7, and we can use these bits individually also. So when we have to use the content of a register, then we can consider it complete. We can consider it in the partitions, or we can complete each and every digit individually. Sorry, each and every bit individually. So register representation is commonly drawn as I told you, that a complete one, a portion of a register or a bit. Suppose this is a register R1. So I can represent this complete by R1, means this is a single entity. This is a single entity, or this register is going to be considered as a single one. Showing individual bits. These registers showing the individual bits, as I told you in that, suppose this registers contain 8 bits, then these are the different bits. Those we can represent by the number 0 to 7. 0 to 7. It can be represented by 0 to 15. We can represent it by 0 to 15 numbers of bits, or we can use as in subfields in partitions. Suppose PCL, this is 0 to 7 is PCL. PC, I told you in last slide that PC is program counter. L means low and H means high. We will see these things later. So don't worry about it, that what these are. We will discuss about program counter, accumulators, all these things in detail. Now register count transfer. How we can represent this when we have to transfer the data from one place to another place, or from one register to another register, then how we can copy the data. When we are representing this, R1, this arrow, and R2, we have to start to read this from here to here, means there is a register R1, there is a register R1, and we are sending a data from R1 to R2. So this arrow represent that the data is going to be transferred from R1 to R2. In this case, the content of the register R2, are copied or loaded into the register R1. A simultaneous transfer of all bits from source R1 to destination register R2 during one clock pulse. As we discussed, the use of clock pulse. At all the operations are performed based on clock pulse. So the content of R1 is going to be transferred in R2 based on clock pulse. It is a non-destructive. The content of R1 are not altered by copying loading them to R2. It is saying that when we have register R1 and register R2, and we are copying this, when we are copying the data of R1 to R2, then this data remains as it is. This data remains as it is. Means we are taking the copy of this data and are going to store in register R2. So means this is non-destructive. Non-destructive means the data, the original data is not going to be destructed. Suppose one more example. This is, as I told you, that we have to study from the right. So R5 to R3, R5 to R3 implies that the digital system has a data line from source R5 to destination register R3. We can understand it very well that when we have a link or when we have some medium to transfer the data, to carry on the data, only and only then we can transfer. So when we are transferring the data from R5 to R3, there should be a link. So this is the representing over here that the data line should be from register R5 to R3. Parallel load in destination register R3 means the data can be loaded parallelly, means complete data. Suppose in R5 there are 8 bits, in R3 there are also 8 bits, means complete data will going to be transferred from R5 to R3 at a single time. And control lines to perform the action. Means when we have to perform a register transfer, in that case there should be some link, there should be the line link or data link, there should be the control lines. These two are important when we have to transfer the data. If we do not have the links, then we are not able to transfer the data, or we cannot transfer the data. Control signals are similar to if statement in any language, because when we have the value of control signal is high, in that case we can transfer the data. Means this is similar to an if statement in a programming language, means process completes through a control signal, but the control signal should be high. Means action takes place only and only if control signal is high. The name represent this. Control signal represent this. This is a signal. This is a signal that is going to, that is a control signal, means this signal controls the operation. So action take place if signal is 1, means signal is high. This is also represented as P. P, P means process. Process is 1. If P is equals to 1, if the value of this is equals to 1, then the content of R1, then the content of R1 is going to be registered in going to be transferred in R2. Or we can write this in this form also, if P is equals to 1, then R1 to R2 means data of R1 will transfer to R2. We can see the control transfer implementation, that how the things are going to be happen when we have to transfer. We saw two things till here, that how the data is going to be transferred, and means how the data is going to be transferred from one register to another register, and we discuss about the control signal. We discuss about the control signal. So this is a control unit by which it will send a signal when the value of P, when the value of P is equals to 1, then this is a clock pulse. This is a clock pulse. It says that you have to perform the operation. You have to perform a operation when I will give you a signal. It gives a signal. It gives a signal, this one, and the data is going to be transferred from R1 to R2, R1 to R2. Otherwise, no operation at all. We can see from here that this is a clock pulse. This is a clock pulse. This is the transfer of the data. This is the transfer of the data. Means at this place, these are the pulses as we discussed earlier. This is a complete pulse. This is a complete pulse. This is a complete pulse, means in a cycle there will be high and low and high and low, means this is a complete cycle. So in this, at this time means when this is high, or when the control signal is high, then data is going to be transferred, or data starts to transfer from R1 to R2, and the complete data is transferred during one clock cycle. The same clock control the circuit that generates the control function and destination register. Registers are assumed to be positive edge triggered flip-flop. We discuss about this in the flip-flop, in the synchronous and asynchronous flip-flop, that what happens or how the values are going to be transferred from one flip-flop to another flip-flop. It can be positive edge, it can be negative edge. Okay, let's go on next slide. So control transfer implementation. Here we see that how the data is going to be transferred. Here we will see that how it is transferring. If two or more operations are to occur simultaneously, then they are separated with a comma. Means if the value of P is high, P is equals to 1, means if control signal is giving the control that whatever you want to do, you can do the work. Means in a single clock, the data of R5 is going to be transferred to R3, as well as the data of IR is also going to be transferred to MAR. These are the registers. So here, if the control function P is equals to 1, then load the content of R5 into R3, R5 into R3 at the same time. You can see from here, at the same time or same clock, the content of R1 is transferred into MAR. We will study these different registers in detail Whenever we will be required about these, so don't worry about this, that what are these, that MAR is this, IR is this. So these are some simple, these are some symbols we have to use when we have to perform some operations. So as we discussed that when we have to write a register, then the registers is generally shown by capital letters, or generally we use capital letters to show a register. When there are some parentheses, means it denotes a part of a register. When means suppose this is a register R2, this is a register R2, and the values of from 0 to 7 in lower half, from 8 to 12, from 8 to 15. We discuss that this is L is lower part, this is higher part. So either we can write L2 means 0 to 7th bit, 0 to 7th bit means this part, and this is L lower part. Means we can write in any form, either we can write R2 0 to 7 or R2 lower part. Arrow denotes transfer of information, as here this arrow represents the data of R1. Data of R1 is going to be transferred into R2. Colon represents the termination of a control function. And this comma separates two micro operations, that this micro operation means B is going to be transferred to A and A is going to be transferred to B. Means when two operations are going to be performed simultaneously, then we can use a comma between them. So conclusion, impractically, it cannot be the case that when I have to transfer, okay, I will tell you, suppose this is a register R1, this is a register R2, this is a register R1, this is a register R2. When we have to transfer the data from R1 to R2, from R1 to R2. Suppose these registers are of n bit. Both registers contain n bit, and I want to transfer the data, then there should be n into n minus 1 lines to complete connect R register, because in these two registers, complete number of bits, whatever the number of bits there are to transfer the data we need. So in short, when we have n number of registers, to connect those registers completely, we need n into n minus 1, n into n minus 1 lines. So it's not possible. It's not possible. It's not a realistic approach. Means we have to apply some another approach, and those another approach is that we have to use bus, as happens in the real life, that when we have a bus, that bus can be used by different person, that can be used by different persons at the different time. We will apply the same concept here also, that we have some buses, those buses can be used by different persons at the different time, or to transfer the different data at different time, and those are controlled by using the control circuits or control signals. Control signals are used to transfer, to select that which data has to be transferred from which register to which register. Means buses are used to transfer the data, buses are used to transfer the data, and control signals tell that which registers have to use when. So this is the concept we have to study. So in the next class, we will discuss that what is the bus, what are the memory, and how we can transfer between buses and memories. Thank you.